You too. Now, it ain't morning time, but good morning. If it's your first time rocking with the boy, be the KING SPR 33. That be me, King Spray. And you locked in with the real estate. Tell me. Reporting live, Savannah, Georgia. The Decatur is crazy, or whatever Lloyd said. And baby, you've been so patient, just waiting on that mixtape to drop. And I promise, when it drop, you're gonna love it. Oh, I almost forgot. The weather about 68 degrees outside, a couple clouds in the sky. Praise to the Most High. And let's get into it. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I just came out of work, so you see the they call it, the girls with the bonnet. You see the little headband I got on. And I got the little retro shades on. You hear me? So I'm at work, man, doing the work thing, making these fucking crumbs. Sorry for the language, but we gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. And so I'm making these crumbs, and hold on, sorry, I gotta dodge this traffic real quick. So I'm making these crumbs, and I go on Instagram, and one of my homeboys posted another one of my homeboys that had just dropped a video on YouTube. He's brand new to the YouTube game. Why am I talking like I got 1 million subscribers? But he brand new to the YouTube game. Podcast is called And You Know It. And You Know It. Podcast called And You Know It. Go ahead and subscribe to the boy, man. Go ahead and subscribe to him. Get them subscribers up, man. He got some dope content. And I hate saying the word content, but that's what it is. He got some dope stuff. So go ahead and subscribe to the boy. So I'm on Instagram real quick while I'm working. You hear me? And before we get into the story, of course, like the video. I forgot, man. I don't even know how to do this no more. Like the video. Join the kingdom. Subscribe to the kingdom. We almost at 200 subscribers. Not really. More like 170. But nevertheless, subscribe to the boy. So, and we in one of these group chats, we get pictures. And my homeboy recently just got married. Beautiful pictures. Dope pictures. Everything, man, to be honest, man, is everything you could hope for when it comes to like the setting and setting the ambiance. It looked great. And it got me thinking, because it's so crazy. I had a conversation with another homeboy this morning before going to work. We was talking about finances. We were talking about economics, talking about the economy, and it led us to talking about marriage. And I was asking him, like, yo, are you getting any, like, any pressure to do that with yours? Because I know you're solidified and you live with them and you have a whole situation, like, any pressure? And he was like, well, yeah, I kind of do get a little bit of pressure, but we've already kind of went down that path, and they understand what they understand. So that got me to saying to myself, and I've been thinking this, I was like, well, is marriage really the thing to do? Right? And the older I get, the more I get experience, and I've had a good amount of experience with women to know that, like, they're really all kind of the same, to be honest. But do you want to get married? Now, before we continue, I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? My girl make more money than me. There's no scenario where the girl's taking my stuff, because I don't got nothing to take. But let's just say I did have something to take. Is it worth it to get married knowing that if something was to go awry, if you were to fall out of love, if you were to change how, become a different person, she's going to take not just half, but you have to financially support this woman, and sometimes it's more than half. Are you ready for that? Now, I think marriage and the thought of marriage is a beautiful thing. Anybody that wants to do it, I'm not against it. Like, we all have to do what we have to do. But I think for me, and how I'm thinking, it's not really even about the finances, because I don't have the finances. What I tell y'all before, I I ain't a financial advisor, because I ain't got the finances to advise you, you heard me? But, marriage, man, like, what do we really get out of it? I mean, I guess you get, I remember back in the day when we were real young, like high school times, and the thought of having a girlfriend was really dope because dudes wasn't really frequenting girls like that. So the thought of having a girl was like dope because you got a girl you can go to the movies with, you got a girl to share holidays with, meet the family, you got a girl that you could basically share a little miniature life and be a miniature adult with, right? And then as you got to your 20s and you started really dealing with girls and a higher quantity of women, you would start seeing, all right, I don't really want a girlfriend because I feel like I'm doing something wrong when I talk to other women, and I'm not really doing nothing wrong. Then you start getting towards, you know, your 30s, 40s, and sometimes even 50s, where you're like, man, I don't want to die alone. So I kind of want to have somebody that I, you know, been through the fire with, and enjoy their presence, right? But I'm not gonna lie, ever since the feminist movement really been on like its high horse, I don't see the benefit of getting married for the man. Now, of course, some would say, man, ain't about no benefit, bruh. Grow the fuck up. Ain't about no benefit. Go ahead and take care of the woman. And if you ain't got the money to take care of it, then sit your broke ass home. Yeah, I see that part too. I mean, you might be right. If you worry about some little change you making, then keep your broke ass single. I get it. I mean, I'm not single, but I get it. I can hear certain women in the comment section being like, and if your broke ass can't afford to take care of her, you don't deserve her. There you go. But marriage, what are we thinking about that? How are we feeling about that? Is it for everybody? I mean, back in the day, marriage was seen as like the apex, right? It was seen as like and for some women, I'm sure it still is, but marriage was seen as for guys like, man, I got a wife, bruh. I got responsibilities. I got a family. I got kids. But for the guys that don't, I know some of my peers that don't even want to have kids. And I'm 36, so it might be a chance I don't have kids. So it's not like a lot of the generation nowadays are not having kids and not getting married. They might have a situationship. They might have an in-house girlfriend. Now, do I plan on getting married? Originally, I didn't. And I still kind of don't see the benefit in it. If I did do it, I mean, it would be more so for my partner than it would be for me. I really don't believe in marriage. I honestly don't. I don't. I would do it because I love who I'm with, but I don't. Why? All it really is a business partnership between two people under the eyes of the government. It's a financial structure and a business agreement. It's not really something that's beneficial to the guy at all. And the laws that support the women from back then where they couldn't work still are the laws. So if something was to go wrong, you're gonna get taken to the cleaners. And I don't just mean like if you're rich or not rich. Forget all that. I remember I was talking to a patient, and we were talking about, I'm not gonna give too much information obviously, but we were just talking about like finances and what he did for a living and so on and so on. And he told me, and he broke down how like it worked and his pension and all the stuff he broke down. But then he also broke down how he had an ex-wife, and the ex-wife was like basically just a bad individual. I won't say what he said, but a bad individual, and how she took everything. And she was cheating on him, had 2 kids outside of their marriage while being married, but they didn't want to have a kid with him. And he said, and I quote, that in the courtroom, the judge said, what you're giving is not enough. Even though he gave a house, he gave money, he gave all this, we're going to break you. Now, one, I do believe him. But even if I didn't believe him, even if I said, oh, you probably exaggerating, the thought of that is what happens to a lot of men when something don't go right, and the woman wants to be spiteful and they lawyer up, they break these men. And it's heartbreaking to see, because you hear a lot of stories when you work in the healthcare field and you're dealing with the older population, especially the men. You hear a lot of stories that all are centered around they made a mistake with the woman they chose. Now let me cop my pleas. I'm not saying that getting married is a mistake. I'm not saying that. You got to do what you got to do and have a great time doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's for everybody's different. I'm just saying that the topic has been brought up, and I wanted to talk about it because it's interesting to think about. Some people want to do that, some people don't want to do that, and I'm not saying which one's wrong or right. Because like I said before, if you ain't got the money and the resources and the finances to take care of a queen, then sit your broke ass home. I get it. I understand y'all, you hear me? But what I'm saying is, we got to do a deep dive sometimes and understand, like, yo, are we just forever? Like, are we just rushing into it because it just seems like it's the right time? And I'm not saying that anybody is doing that. I got to cop my pleas, man, because it sounds like I'm targeting somebody. I'm not. What I'm saying is, like, do we feel like, the word rush is not the right word, because a lot of my peers been with their girls for a long time, so they vetted them and they've been through the process. But I'm saying, like, are we going into the situation because that's what we wanted, or is it because that's what we think we're supposed to do? But if you find happiness, man, then you find happiness. Hey, listen, we only got one life to live. Right? And we can't be caught up on what somebody think or don't think for whatever decision you want to make. If you want to do that, then you want to get married, you get married. You don't want to get married, you don't want to get married. You want to have kids, you don't want to have kids. Whatever. You want to not go to school, you want to go back to school, whatever you want to do, you can do, because you got one life to live. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be who you got to be. At the end of the day, like, you are who you were when you got here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be who you got to be. But it's just an interesting topic to think about when you say, like, man, marriage used to be the staple, right? You just see a lot of people in general, black, Asian, white, whatever, when they get to about their mid-20s, maybe even late 20s, they're getting married, and it signified like they're grown up now. At my job where I work, you know, I live in Savannah, Georgia, Decatur, where it's crazy. And a lot of the people here, they're literally 19, 20, 21, 25, and they've been married for 6 years already. Like, to them, marriage is a huge accomplishment, and it is the thing to do. And then to me, I look at marriage like, I mean, I just don't know. What's the right answer? Y'all put in the comment section. Y'all plan on getting married anytime soon? Or do y'all plan on just having a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or whatever, and just kind of chilling and vibing, but you don't need the paperwork? Or you trying to put a ring on it? I mean, I don't know. And for the ones that are in the comment section saying, bruh, if you cannot support her physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially, then sit your broke ass home. I get it, man. You hear me? I get it. But I just got some questions. Are you mad because I'm asking you 21 questions? Like the video, subscribe to my shit, man, please. Vibe with the boy. Leave down in the comment section what y'all thinking, man. Y'all getting married anytime soon? Or is that just something that ain't no longer prevalent in our lives? Like the video, subscribe to the boy. This has been a message brought to you by the good people over here at Spree ENT. And it's going to all make sense real soon.